ECD support service, the FDCC will effectively engage non-traditional and corporate actors in the discourse, thinking, and planning for the development of a multi-sectoral approach to addressing the needs of those most at risk and requiring targeted and sustained support. The FDCC will further the use and expansion of the concept and methods like RCP and ECHO in close collaboration with the private and corporate sector. The mandate of the foundation will be to source and manage resources from business organizations, financial institutions at both the local, regional, and international level, governments and philanthropic organizations required to ensure the continuation and sustainability of CCSI processes and programming utilities. In conjunction with continuing its proactive role with the private sector, FDCC will help to generate, manage, and disburse private and corporate funds. It will facilitate the convergence, where possible, of initiatives into existing services in the economic, education, health, and social spheres. By forging these kinds of public-private partnerships in the region, matters of child advocacy, policy, and financing, the FDCC will be creating its own unique niche. Few regional institutions in any sector have laid as solid a foundation as the CCSI, involving knowledge generation, financial modeling, and cost efficiency justification, theoretical and methodological exemplification, and compelling advocacy. I would like to pay tribute to Susan Branca and her team for their exemplary work in this regard. Having provided access to quality support services for over 10,000 at-risk children and families in 5 countries, having proven the approach to be more cost-effective than any other form of early childhood provision, and having created a knowledge base that provides ample justification of the efficacy of the initiative, the CCSI can now confidently press home its advantage as it transitions to the FDCC. And in this endeavor, we invite all of you to be part. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jules. And certainly, we must intercept these situations. And when you tie it in with the outstanding presentation from Professor Maureen Sams-Vaughan, and Professor Maureen, I just want to invite you to stand. Yes. Let's give her a round of applause. She sat back down a little too quick. The folks over in this side didn't see who she was, but I found it to have been such a stirring presentation this morning. I had known prior to that presentation that it is so very important that we help where we can in relation to these children who are disadvantaged. But I had not realized the significant impact neglect can have on these children between birth and 3 years old. She opened my eyes in a very profound way. Dr. Jules, in his presentation, talked about the need for us to work together, talks about synergy. And when we hear about synergy, a true story always comes back to me because I find it inspires and it motivates, and it gives us that energy to go beyond the challenges that we will face as we make this thing work. It is based on a farming community in Europe several years ago, where they still have these harvests, they still have these farming communities where they have competitions. They have competitions for people, farmers, to lift things and throw things. But they also have competitions for animals to pull and to run fast and so on. And this is a true story. They had a horse pulling competition where the horses were required to pull a sled with weight on it. The horse that came first, that is, the horse that pulled the greatest weight, pulled 4,500 pounds. The number 2 horse pulled 4,000 pounds. Then the owners said, I wonder what would happen if we latched those 2 horses together. How many pounds will they pull? People started to calculate. 4,005 and 4, okay, maybe 8.5, maybe 9, maybe 9.5. They pulled 12. It reminds us that when we pull our resources together, we are much stronger than if we try to do it alone. And so we pause to reflect here on the teamwork, the synergy that is created even in putting this forum on. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has played a major role, and we thank them. The Commonwealth Secretariat financed many of our participants coming. UNICEF, CARICOM Secretariat, Parenting Partners Caribbean, Caribbean Skills Support Initiative, and the University of the West Indies. And so for all those representatives who are here representing these august bodies, we give you a round of applause. Join me in thanking them. And so it gives me great pleasure now to invite to address us a young lady. And when I look at her bio, I said, but, you know, she probably started doing this kind of work when she was a tot, because she has served in the NGO arena for 20 years. 20 years, and 9 of those years she held a senior, very responsible position with the Ford Foundation. Since 2009, she has been working with the Bernard Van Leer Foundation, a significant contributor to what we have been doing, intercepting children as we go along, making it possible for them to achieve the impossible. And so, join me in welcoming Mrs. Lisa Jordan. Mrs. Jordan.
Can you all see me over this orange microphone? It feels like it's part of my nose now. I'm not that tall. Thank you, Dr. Ferdinand. Good evening, Honorable Stevenson, other members of Congress who are here, Secretary General of the Ministry of Education, friends from the early childhood development community, Mr. Olson, nice to see you. Dr. Jules, that was a beautiful talk, and I hope I can build upon it. This is a historical moment. All of us are sharing the birth of the Foundation for the Development of the Caribbean Children. Now, I work in the field of 0 to 3, as you know, as all of you are working in the field of 0 to 3, and this is 0. So hopefully together we'll be able to nurture this new baby, which is going to take 40 years of work that the Bernard Van Leer Foundation has nurtured through some investments in the Caribbean's youngest citizens. It's going to take that work to a scale that we would not be able to do. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to begin by commending the members of the board of the FDCC. In its composition, this board echoes the mission and the mandate of this new organization. As a group, they represent nationals from a variety of Caribbean countries. They bring a personal track record that gives proof of their passion for the youngest citizens and a drive to serve the region in its thrust for unity and cooperation. They bring the right senior background from all walks of life, expertise and vision to make this foundation a resounding success. And I, for one, am very grateful, and as is everybody from the history of the Bernard Van Leer Foundation, for the members of the board of the FDCC. Now, why are we together? We're here to make sure that